Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be showing you how to create this granny square using multiple yarn colors. So I'll be using different colors of yarn for this tutorial, and I'll go ahead and leave a link in the description box on where you can go ahead and get this yarn as well. I'll also be using a 4.5mm crochet hook for this tutorial. So we're going to start by taking our yarn and start by making a slip knot, and you can do this in whichever way you prefer. Now chain 4, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4 chain stitches, and once you've completed your 4 chain stitches, go ahead and do a slip stitch in the first chain. To do that slip stitch, insert your hook inside the first chain here that you would have done. We're going to yarn over, and this is our working yarn, pulling it through, and then we're going to pull that through the loop that would have already been on the hook. Now what this is going to do is that it's going to create a small circle, and this is where we'll be working our crochets going forward. Now start by chaining 2. So to do a chain, yarn over and pull through, that's 1 chain, 2, and these 2 chains will act as our first double crochet. We'll be doing 3 double crochets to start, with this one being our first. To do our second double crochet, yarn over your hook like this and insert it inside the center of the circle that we just created, so right through the middle here. You're going to insert your hook, pulling up a loop. Now with 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops, and then yarn over and pull through the last 2 loops. Now we also want to place a marker on top of that second stitch, because this is where we'll be closing out our round. Now remember that we should be having 3 double crochets in total, so I'm going to do another one by yarning over, inserting in the center and pulling up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. Now this represents one side of our granny square for the first round, and to do the next side we're going to start by making our corner, and we do that by chaining 2. So 1 and 2 for our corner, and then we're going to do 3 more double crochets inside the center. So pull up a loop and complete 1 double crochet here, 2, and 3. So we have 2 sides, and we're going to do 2 more. So chain 2, 3 double crochets, 1, 2, and 3. And for our last side, we do what we've been doing so far, where we chain 2 and complete 3 double crochets. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Now we started our work with a double crochet, which means that we'll have to end by doing the last corner, and we're going to do that by chaining 2. 1, 2, and once you've done the 2 chains, Where our marker is where we'll be closing out the round. So you can go ahead and remove your marker. And atop the stitch where our marker was, which is here, we're going to insert or hook under the stitch like this, and we're going to complete a slip stitch. Now to do that, simply insert your hook, pull through a loop, and then pull that through the loop already on your hook. Now once you've done that, you can go ahead and cut your yarn. Pulling it all the way through. This is our first round, but to make this center here smaller, we're going to pull on the chain here, the loose yarn here. We're going to pull on it, and that's going to decrease the size of the center like that. Now once done, we want to hide the yarn. So I'm going to show you how to do that. You can take a crochet needle, and then you're just going to work the yarn through the stitches here in the back. And once that's done, you can just go ahead and cut the loose yarn as well. I'm also going to do that for this tail as well, where I'll work it in the stitches here at the back. So this is how the back of your work should look, and now we're going to go ahead and create the next round. Now for the next round, you can go ahead and start with another color like this. And taking the yarn, we're just going to go ahead and start from any corner here. So we're going to start by doing 3 double crochets. Our first double crochet will be done by chaining 2, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Insert your hook inside the corner like this. Then yarn over and pull up a loop, chain 1, chain 2. So that's going to act as our first double crochet, and then we're going to do 2 more double crochets. So yarn over your hook and insert it into the space here, pulling up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2 for a second double crochet. And atop that second double crochet, I'm going to place my crochet marker back on top there, because again, that's where we'll be closing out the round, just like we did in the previous round. And then I'm going to do my third double crochet as well. Now at this stage, what we'll be doing is 3 double crochets, and then we're going to chain 2. And in the same corner stitch here, we're going to do 3 more double crochets. So it will look something like this, where we do 3 double crochets, we do a chain 2 for our corner, and then 3 more double crochets inside the same corner here. So we chain 2, 1, 2, and inside the same corner, we're going to do 3 more double crochets. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Now once done, we're going to go to the next corner and immediately do a double crochet. So that's the first of 3 double crochets. We're going to immediately do that in the next corner. So we yarn over a hook, and in the next corner we work a double crochet. So that's 1, 2, 3, and then like we did in the corner over here, we're going to chain 2 for our corner, 1, 2, and then in that same space do 3 more double crochets, 1, 2, and 3. So we're going to repeat that in the last 2 corners as well. So 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, and in that same corner we do 3 more double crochets, 1, 2, and 3, and do that for our last corner as well. We start by making 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, and then do 3 more double crochets inside the space there. So that's 1, 2, and 3. So now we're going to go ahead and close out our round, and we're going to remove our marker here. And in that same stitch where our marker was, we're going to just do a slip stitch at this point. So insert your hook under the stitch, pulling through a loop, and then complete your slip stitch. You can cut your yarn, pulling it all the way through, and then use your crochet needle to pull the yarn through the stitches here at the back to hide it. So this is what your work will look like after yarning through the tail in the back, and I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do the 3rd round for your granny square. So we're going to start by grabbing another color of yarn, and just like we did in the last round, you can start at any corner. So I'm going to start by inserting my hook, yarning over and chaining 2 like we did before, so all the rounds will start the same going forward. So that's 1 chain and 2, and that's going to act as our first double crochet, so I'm going to do 2 more double crochets. 1 and 2, and this is a corner, so we'll be creating the corner for the next round in this stitch. So that's 3 double crochets here, and I'm going to place my marker back on the 2nd stitch, which is atop this stitch here, so right here, because again this is where we'll be closing out our round. Once we have our 3 double crochets completed, chain 2, 1, 2, and then 3 more double crochets here. That's going to create our first corner for this row. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Now once done, we're going to work directly into this space here, and that would have been created by going from one corner to the next. We have a space created here in the middle, and in that space we're going to just work 3 double crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, and then directly into this side where it's a corner, we'll be doing our pattern for the corner where we do 3 double crochets, chain 2, and then do 3 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, and then 3 more double crochets inside that same space. So that's 1, 2, 3. Now we're pretty much going to repeat that going all the way around, where in the space in the middle here we do 3 double crochets, and where we have a corner we do 3 double crochets, 2 chains, and 3 double crochets. So we're going to repeat that going all around. I'll do another set for you as well. So in the space here in the middle that takes us from corner to corner, we just work 3 double crochets inside that space. So that's 1, 2, and 3. And then where we have a corner, we're going to do the pattern for the corner where we do 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, we chain 2, 1, 2, and then do 3 more double crochets, 1, 2, and 3. So you can go ahead and continue the pattern going all around. In the next stitch we'll do 3 double crochets. In our corners we do 3 double crochets, 2 chains, and 3 double crochets. So again, continue that until we're at the end of the round here, where we should end by doing 3 double crochets in this space. So I've completed the pattern going all the way around, and now I'm going to end my round by doing a slip stitch. So it's the same as we've done in the previous round. I'm going to remove my marker, and on top of that stitch where our marker was, just do a slip stitch, and then I'm going to cut my yarn, pulling it all the way through. Using a crochet needle, I'm going to work my tail here through the stitches here in the back. So this is what it looks like after inserting your tail through the stitches in the back. And I'm going to go ahead and do my 4th and final round for this tutorial. This will also give you some tips on how to make the granny square as large as you would like it to be. So go ahead and take another color, wrap it around your finger, and we're going to start the round in exactly the same way we started the last round. So I'm going to start by inserting my hook inside a corner, and then I'm going to yarn over my hook, pulling up a loop, and then I'm going to chain 2. So 1 and 2, and remember that this will represent the first double crochet of 3. So I'm going to do 2 more double crochets, yarn over, pull up a loop, and complete the double crochet there. I'm going to place a marker back on top of that second stitch because that's where we'll be closing out the round. And in each round going forward, this is how you should start your rounds. So I'm going to go ahead and do the 3rd double crochet here. And once you start in a corner, you're going to start by making the corner for the row that you're working on. And to make a corner, we do 3 double crochets, we chain 2, just as we did in the last row, and then do 3 double crochets in that same space. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Now where there's a space but it's not a corner, we won't do that chain 2 stitch. Instead, we'll just be working 3 double crochets in those spaces. So here and here, we'll do 3 double crochets immediately after doing our last stitch. So that's 1, 2, 3. And then in the space that's here as well, we do 3 double crochets. That's 1, 2, 3. And then when we get to the corner stitch, which is here, we're going to do the pattern that we do for our corners, which is 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. 2 chain stitches. 1, 2, and 3 double crochets in that same space. 1, 2, and 3. So you see here where the top of this is now finished, and I'm going to go ahead and continue that pattern going all the way around. So again, in the spaces that isn't a corner, we work 3 double crochet in each space, and then where we do have a corner, we do 3 double crochets, 2 chains, and 3 double crochets inside the same space to complete the corner. So go ahead and continue the pattern going all the way around. So I've just completed my last set of double crochets in the last space here, and I'm going to show you how to close out the round for good. So we're going to start by making this loop much larger, and then we're going to go ahead and cut our yarn. Now once you've done that, go ahead and pull your yarn all the way through, and then take a crochet needle. You can insert it inside your crochet needle, the yarn, removing our marker. We're going to take our needle and we're going to insert it under the stitch where our marker was, so like this, pulling it all the way through. And we want this to be very similar in size to all the other stitches. Once done, go ahead and insert your crochet needle inside your last stitch, but we don't only want it to go through the top like this, we also want it to go through the back bump here, so like that, pulling it all the way through. And you can pull on it to tighten it. You can pull it forward to make it larger. And once you're comfortable with the size of that, you can just go ahead and yarn through the excess yarn or the tail here through the stitches in the back. Now once finished, it should look something like this. You can also pull on the excess yarn if it's too large, or play with the stitch a bit. You can pull it up like this if it's too small to make any minor adjustments going across. Now once you're comfortable with what that looks like, you can go ahead and cut all the excess yarn from the back of your work like so. And that is pretty much it. Now, if you found this tutorial helpful, please go ahead and like this video and subscribe to my channel if you have not done so as yet. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!